Welcome to the fourth season of Chat with the Chair. I'm your host, Kevin Foley, CFMA's 2023-24 chair. As former Jeopardy champion, if you followed, we've been evolving our guests, providing answers in a Jeopardy format. And on today's episode, I'm excited to welcome CFMA's 2024-25 chair coming in, Caryl Coronis. So, Caryl, thank you so much for being here today.
Kevin, I really appreciate it. And I know there's no way to follow in your steps. So we'll see what the next chat with the chair comes.
Well, everybody's going to see a great upgrade in what we get done in CFMA with you coming in. Very excited to follow with your leadership in the upcoming year. So thank you for doing this. And why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you're working, and all that good stuff.
Okay, Kevin, thank you again. I'm Caryl Coronis, and I am from Houston. I have been a member of CFMA since 2006 and have done things on the chapter level, regional level, and national level, and am really excited to be the incoming chair and hope that I can fill the footsteps of those who came before me as best I can. I will definitely do that. I am a longtime CFO, currently working for NBG Constructors, which is now MC2 Civil in Houston.
Okay. Great, Caryl. And again, thanks for all you've done for CFMA so far, and better yet, what you're going to do in the upcoming year with your leadership. So we're ready to play the game, and they have the board. So what category and dollar amount would you like to go with?
I think I'm going to start with where in the world for 1200.
Okay, and the answer is Portland, Oregon.
Oh, I think that the question is, where do I next plan to see Pearl Jam?
Okay, so that's a really interesting thing. And Portland's being one of my favorite cities. I have lots of them in the country. It's a wonderful town. But you're going to go see Pearl Jam there. Not coming to Houston. You're traveling up there.
Well, it's really an exciting story. I'll say, actually, just last September, they did come to Texas, and I was lucky enough to see two shows, one in Austin and one in Fort Worth. But they hadn't come to Texas for a good while, so that was sort of different. But I'm used to traveling to see them. One of the very unusual things about that band is that each show is completely different. It's not like a lot of shows where you go and you'll see the same show over and over again. They have such a deep catalog and they do a lot of covers. So each show is different. I think I've seen them more than 30 times. And
Wow.
yeah, the farthest I've actually traveled to see them was London and Berlin, and those were
Ooh.
great trips, great trips. They do things a little differently in Europe, and it was great to see that. But what's really special about the Portland show that's coming up is that I'm able to go with a fellow CFMA officer, Pam Hummel, and looking forward to that. And I really enjoyed how the CFMA officers and leaders in general just really love live music and music in general. And I know you're very deep on that, and it's been fun to have a lot of this conversation. So it just goes to show how you don't only deal with CFMA business and business within CFMA, but the wide network that you have. You talk about personal things, you talk about things that interest you, and that's one of the things that for me makes it very valuable.
Oh, well, I agree. And it's funny looking at concert schedules and bands that I really enjoy, and I wonder whether or not I will try to drag my wife Liz down to Atlantic City as I see that the B-52s are coming around again.
Wow.
And if you want a fun concert, they certainly give you one as well. So, um, but geez, Pearl Jam, what a great thing. Go to a great town and spend time with one of the best people you could possibly spend it with, seeing Pam Hummel. So you've really got a trifecta going on that. So
You're not
hope you have a
kidding.
great time.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, now we're going to go back to the board and see what else you might like to choose.
Let's take Can't Say No for 400.
Okay, and the answer there is benchmarking.
Oh, well, I think the answer is CFMA's financial benchmarker and the heavy equipment comparator.
Okay, that's right. Two big products that we have related to each other in a sense of benchmarking for our members. But why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience in benchmarking with CFMA?
Well, the CFMA financial benchmarker is actually how I got into national CFMA. I had been very involved on the local level at that time, and I actually just inquired, hey, is there anything available on the national level that I might be able to help with? And so they put me on the financial benchmarker committee, and I was on it as a member. And back then, we did a lot of the stuff manually. We didn't have a third party to help us as much. And so I was just a member and showed up on a call one day, and they said, and actually it was a call. It was a call on the phone and not Zoom back then. And they said, guess what? You're our next vice chair. And so it never stopped rolling. So the idea of never saying no definitely comes with CFMA. And, again, I'll just say that the more you put into CFMA, the more you're able to not say no, but still keep a balance and know what your limits are, the more you'll definitely get out of CFMA. So, my road it started there and, it still hasn't stopped. And with the heavy equipment comparator coming on board as one of CFMA's newest initiatives, I was asked if I might like to join them after they had gotten started, seeing as how I had had financial benchmarker experience as well as being in the heavy highway community, and it hasn't stopped. So I would just say it's a great initiative, it's a great product, it's a great partnership with AEMP, and I would say that heavy civil companies can benefit, anybody with heavy equipment can benefit, and also CPA firms and those who actually help and assist those types of company can also benefit from it. So, and of course, it's been a great experience dealing with CFMA people who are experts in that area. I've actually learned a whole lot from them as well as from the experts at AEMP. I'm really looking forward to seeing them at the upcoming conference.
No, that's terrific. I know a little bit about getting involved in a lot of different things. And I think, that's one part of our natures that I immediately recognized is that we seem to have an interest in virtually everything. And everything that CFMA does is like, you can help there. And when you have the kind of unique background and experiences that to help support something like the heavy equipment comparator, it is hard to say no that you're going to step aside and not be able to contribute. And really grateful to you for being willing to, in your copious free time, you were willing to jump in and take care of that as part of the team. So thanks again for that. So moving along now that you're already up, still control the board. What would you like to choose next?
I think I'll take building from the ground up for 800.
Okay, and that answer is the Lone Star Conference.
I would say the question is, what CFMA regional conference has grown enormously since its revival in 2014?
Okay, and obviously that's correct. You have a lot of information about the Lone Star Conference, and I know you've been extremely involved in that as well. So, for those people who want to hear about regional conferences, and particularly, it's almost like a startup the way you revived it. So, why don't you talk a little bit about that, how that got strengthened again?
I know it was a lot of years ago now. It was actually at the 2013 CFMA National Conference where the presidents of the CFMA Texas chapters got together and started talking about why we did not have a regional conference in Texas. And we learned that the last regional conference that had been about 10 years prior, 8 to 10 years prior, nobody could really tell us exactly, had only had 15 people who attended it. And
Oh,
that's the reason that they said, we're not going to do this anymore. So the presidents at the time had to get together and go to our chapters and say, we want to revive this. And we were actually putting the chapter's financial resources, on the hook for this. They were saying, I'm not sure if we want to do this, but thanks to the group, we were able to make it happen. And I want to just shout out to Anna Fisher, Jeremy Maxwell, Eddie Corbett, and Vivian Garza Steele. Those are the fellow presidents that I worked with on this initiative. And together we made it happen very conservatively at first. Our first conference was in Austin, and we had about 80 people, which was a tremendous
yeah.
success. And now we're approaching around 300. We're knocking right at 300 and have actually had to cut off the registration for the past few years. So
Wow.
it's grown tremendously, great educational opportunities. And again, one of the things that's so special about it is being able to work with the group of people that you get to work with, even though the names and the people are different than when we first started. It's a great group of people, some of the people who are my best friends and will be lifelong friends. So in addition to doing good things for CFMA, doing good things for the industry, it's that networking and that getting to know fellow people who are like-minded that really is successful. And we're really happy to have brought Texas and CFMA along with that journey. And the good news is we have had a couple of new chapters actually come into Texas, the Heart of Texas chapter and the El Paso chapter. And the El Paso chapter is stepping up this year to host the conference. So it'll be a very special conference with an El Paso flair, and we're really excited about that. It's going to be in October 6th through 8th this year. So be on the lookout. It's going to be a very special conference for us.
Right, and that's right in the middle of what we refer to as the regional conference season that starts up in August with a couple and keeps running through there. And that regional conferences are also, while the annual conference that we'll talk about a little bit later is a really important thing for me. Um, I really think the regionals provide something for their local communities that are really special. And uh, as you know, one of our earlier chats, we had the folks who are starting up the Virginia Regional Conference. And they have a lot of energy and excitement, and I expect that they will have a great start to theirs. As you know, I was a big part of the Mid-Atlantic Conference as it grew back in the aughts, as I guess we'll refer to that as, and very proud of how big and that has grown. But there are ones all around the country. So, if you haven't had a regional conference in your area, recommend you contact folks at CFMA headquarters. Could put you in touch with people who have been engaged with some of the other regionals, and really helps a lot of the local members because a lot of the people that we see at our regionals, we're also going to be seeing at the annual conference that we're very excited about coming up, where Caryl, you will be the chair for that annual conference and the meetings that we have at the conference and exhibition, and see all the great vendors there. And fortunately for you, it's not a real long ride for you to get to Grapevine, Texas, just outside of Dallas for that. So congratulations on your taking over in a few weeks, and looking forward to seeing everybody at that conference. So If you can think of any things to tell people to excite them about that, feel free to do that too.
Well, I'll just say a few things. First of all, I feel very fortunate, and I think it doesn't happen too often, that the national conference is actually in the home state of the chair for that year. So I'm really excited and feel fortunate for that. So we're planning a great conference this year. The schedule is going to be a lot different than it has in the past. So make sure that if you're planning to come, that you look and see when things are scheduled because it's going to be different. And if you haven't yet signed up, just make sure that you look at the agenda because we're excited. We're planning a lot of exciting stuff. And one of the things I also just wanted to say is definitely we would be remiss without saying and thanking all of the sponsors that allow those regional conferences and the national conference to happen. We really appreciate so much the associate members and others who sponsor and provide educational content for both the regional and the annual conference. We definitely could not do it without them, and just a shout out and sincere thank you to them for being such a great part of it.
Well, that's a great thing to highlight, and you're right. You know, it's really important to recognize those folks, and you know, be able to support because they support us. So supporting them also helps support the entire industry. So I think that's really a great thing for people to attend and get that experience. If they haven't done so, they don't know what they're missing. Because folks like me, after going to a first conference, it's like you never want to miss one after that. So let us move to our final Jeopardy time. And I am going back to something that I've found sort of fun to ask. Our final Jeopardy category is CFMA award winners. So put
Okay.
down your wager, Carol, and I will come up with the question for you in just a moment. Okay.
Okay.
So what I would like to ask here is our question. The 2023 winner of the Joe Quigley Memorial Chapter Award. And again, Joe Quigley, to remind anyone who might be watching for CFMA, he was a former CFMA president, it was called, and a Valley of the Sun chapter member. And it recognizes outstanding chapter participation and activity. So, who was the 2023 Joe Quigley Memorial Chapter Award winner?
I'm not sure if I have her name spelled correctly, but I think I remember her.
Okay.
So let's see. Let's
Let's
see
see what your wager
how we
was.
did. Okay.
$1,200 and Jennifer Tyndall. Very good. Yes, excellent. Got
Yay!
that one right. Nice to finish out the year on a high note. Now, again, that was in some ways a softball, but a lot of the time, I think we second guess ourselves as to whether something was at a particular point in time or maybe the year before. But yes, so Jennifer Tyndall from the Charlotte chapter, who is a CPA and CCIFP, won that award. Again, we're really excited for your upcoming year. Congratulations again for having been elected this year's CFMA chair, and I'm looking forward to helping support you and the entire leadership team in this upcoming year. And also looking forward to seeing your chats that you plan to have coming up as you will continue the tradition, although not the Jeopardy tradition that has happened this year. But I'm sure you'll have your own special flavor for it, and it'll be even bigger and better than what I did to also highlight your theme for the conference. Anything else you'd like to tell people in anticipation of this new year for CFMA?
Just again to thank you so much, Kevin, for everything that you've done, your leadership in this transition year of our new CEO and President Neil Shaw, as well as the integration with CCIFP and CFMA. And I know we still have a long way to go, but you did so much with helping to bring those two things to the point where we are. So appreciate that. Also appreciate your wonderful personality and the Jeopardy championship and your history, your knowledge of history of CFMA. It's priceless. It's been great serving with you, and I really look forward to serving next year with you as well. So thank you so much.
All right. Well, thanks again, Caryl. And so I won't be seeing you again next time. Everybody else will be seeing Caryl here the next time on Chat with the Chair, and I'll be looking forward to seeing the next one that comes up too. Congratulations again, Caryl, and hope you have a great year ahead of you. I know it'll be wonderful. So take care.
Thanks so much.